Where I am now, better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now, where I am now, in a special place. I take a walk in place, where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live at WGPL 1350 Studio, WMVA 88.9 FM Studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page or Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to 1350 AM or 1400 AM. Click and listen live. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, peace. 95.3 FM and WPCE 1400 AM and WMVA 88.9 FM.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Go over to our new channel at FYI Radio Show, host Yolanda Hinton. That's on YouTube. You can also go to Crystal Records 1, CRISTO Records 1. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we promise we'll shout you out.
Speaking of records, Miss Hinton, let's do something like this. Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's new CD, new single, Make It All Right. Sometimes all by yourself in the storm gonna push you down and hold your place, and he will come with you. I know he'll make it all right. Sometimes you gotta get away, talk to the Lord, tell him about all your problems, tell him what is wrong when there's nobody else who will understand. I know he'll make it all right. Say he'll make it all right. I know he'll make it all right. I know he'll make it all right. I know he'll make it all right. To the place where the Lord can come with you. I know he'll make it all right. Yeah, that's Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, new single, Make It All Right. And wherever music is being sold, you can get it.
Thank you, Mr. E. We also want to make sure we welcome our sponsor, BulvicAcademy.com, BULVIC Academy.com. Make sure you check out the website and all the things there with the anti-bullying initiative, books, games, so forth and so on.
Yeah.
Mr. E, how was your weekend?
I had a great weekend. I got a great weekend. I got a funeral to attend to today, around about 2 o'clock this morning.
Yes.
And I want to say our hearts goes out to one of the deacons of my ministry, New Outreach Ministry, Mr. Tony Whitehurst, and his family. God bless his soul.
Yeah, so sorry. We'll be praying for the family. That's a hard thing to go through. You know, when you lose a member.
Yeah.
You lose a member of your family as well. That's really a tough thing to go. But God gives us grace to go through everything. Right. So yeah, I had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Look, a celebration. My grandson. Happy birthday to my grandson. 10 years old now. Wonderful time. And look, he had to do it up big. He started off with Dave and Buster. Then we had to go to the hibachi. This is 10 years old
10
now.
years
then
old.
He had the 10-year-old, his friends. They had they came over for a sleepover and they just played games, PS5. Oh my God. But anyway, it's a wonderful celebration. I also want to just mention my friend Tammy and her husband, Miss King. Wonderful, wonderful ordination for them. Congratulations. They're pastors now. You got to serve and work in the vineyard. And it was a great charge. You know, they were up to it. And we just say thank you for, look, going in. Look, the harvest is ripe.
But the labor is few.
Thank God for labor.
That's right.
Well, Mr. E, today is our Monday Sports Talk.
That's right. It's Monday Sports Talk. And guess what? We into the NBA playoff season.
Oh, my goodness. Is it fire?
Oh, God.
Is it fire, Mr. E?
You talking about fire. These folk are they playing basketball. They playing what you call real basketball, down to the wire, down to the second, down to the very last inkling of a second, and they playing that great basketball.
Well, Mr. E, we got the touch of that fire with the NCAA and all those playoffs and things like that.
Yeah.
Then, you know, the NBA is here, and then the WNBA, started.
That's right.
Their mess and just going forth. We got some, we have the schedule for the WNBA if you all are interested, because we will report on some of these games.
Well, on Monday, the WNBC, which is tonight, WNBA, they got Connecticut versus Seattle, Indianapolis versus New York. That's at, I'm sorry, let me go back and get this. They got Connecticut versus Indiana.
All right.
That's at 7 o'clock on ESPN. And they also got Seattle versus New York.
Yes.
And then on tomorrow night, they got Dallas versus Atlanta. They got Phoenix versus Las Vegas. They got Washington versus Los Angeles. That's the first two schedules, Miss Hinton, for the 21st and the 20th.
Well, you all check it out now, because we're going to be reporting on these games. Now, look, Mr. E, I've been kind of peeking over there for a minute, and your girl Caitlin is making the news.
Caitlin.
Look, but the thing about it is she had gotten some great advice from a former WNBA player saying, okay, now this is where the rubber meets the road, sis, and you're going to have to come against not just 18-year-old college girls and all that. These are real women. This is what she said.
That's right.
Real women that you're going to have to come up against. WNBA, she's been knocked down a few times.
That's right.
She's doing her thing. You know, she's coming through. What you think about it, Miss Steve?
Well, Caitlin had to understand that she ain't in college anymore.
That's the truth.
Welcome to the big league, Caitlin, and they are not taking any hostages.
But they're also saying she's complaining too much.
Right. She did that in college also.
Yeah.
And she want the favor of the referee, but she did that same move in college, making complaints. And she said what? But she came on TV, on TV, and what she's got to do is step back a little further and get them off their game. And she'll be all right.
Listen, she got to get her battle scars.
Well, you know, anytime you play a sport or go into something new, you got to get that welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. She got to get jumped in.
That's right.
And nobody's gonna do her any favors, because first of all, they don't want her to take the shine from them. But she's bringing the boys to the yard. The numbers are going up. Ticket sales, the fans are
That's
going
right.
crazy.
That's right.
And
That's
she
right.
is bringing something to the game.
You said like she was in the game.
I tell you,
You said like she was in the game. She got to be jumped in.
She got to be jumped in.
She got to get her initiation. She's got to let everybody know, Caitlin, this is no longer college.
This is no longer college. You are not the favorite one. You got to play like anybody else. And let's see what she do. She's a great player, but again, she's got to prove herself.
You know, Miss Hinton, we got to jump into this NBA.
Oh,
sport.
Mr. E is ready to go. He's ready to go, you guys.
That's right. On Friday, the New York Knicks played against the Indiana Pacers, and the Pacers beat the New York Knicks. Beat the New York Knicks 116 to 103. They beat them 116 to 103, and that means that the series was tied.
Mr. E, what happened in that game?
Well, everything went right in that game. The Indiana Pacers, they didn't play. You know,
they beat them up so long. It's a one that they went to
116 to 103, and your boys, I can't even Shickenham. He scored 25 points and 7 rebounds,
wow.
And Bronson, Jay Bronson, he scored 31 points. Now, Miss Hinton, sad to say, but he got out of the game. He couldn't make it to the final game. Then on Saturday, the OKC, Oklahoma, which is my boys, they lost to the Dallas Mavericks. But there's some controversies going on with that game. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll talk about that a little later. That 117 to 116 in that game.
That was so close. I sat there and saw it. I was like, now, talking about any man's game.
That's right. That's right. Any man's game, Miss Hinton. So there's a little controversy about Saturday game. So now we came to the wire, and so somebody had to go home. Let's look at it. Now, 117 to 116, OKC went home.
Wow.
They went home.
Were you surprised? I'm telling you, I was a little bit.
I was a little bit surprised because of the youngins. They was playing great basketball. Well, Sunday was a barn burner. I mean, the Indiana Pacers didn't take no hostages. They demolished the New York Knicks. Yes, I want to tell Spike Lee have several seats. Him and Big Mouth.
All the celebrities in the whole wide world sitting up in the audience.
Out there.
Looking at their team lose.
Looking at that team lose. And Jalen, he got hurt.
He sure did.
And he couldn't come back out.
But what was going on with that game? You know, I'm just surprised. You know, they have come so far. They're right here in the playoffs. And they just like fizzled down to whatever.
They said 25 years that they have not been back into the league like the playoff like they are, and say the last time they was in the playoff during Patrick Ewing time. So that's been a minute before.
Since
Patrick Ewing, that's right. With Patrick Ewing.
But what happened? The last 2 games were like, you all just gonna give these games away?
It ain't the point of giving them games away. Them young boys outran them.
Okay, I get it.
And played great defense. Them young boys, them youngins.
They beat the mess out.
The speedsters. And they was going into the bucket. They wasn't just shooting 3-pointers and 5-pointers and 6-pointers. Them boys was in the bucket mixing it up. So 130 to 109, and that's when the Indianapolis told the New York Knicks, bye-bye. See you later. After a while, crocodile, don't come this way no more.
I mean, I have a cousin from New York, and he was like, he was hurt. I was like, that's it. You got to go.
Well, Miss Hinton, here's was another. The Joker got the jokes put on him. That's the Denver Nuggets and the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, I mean, the Joker got joked. That boy by the name of Ant-Man
Ant-Man.
went to work on the Nuggets. I mean, bye-bye,
Mr.
Golden
E.
State Nuggets.
But you got it. I mean, that game was high
90
energy.
to 98.
The fans were on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, every ball player up there looked like giants. But I'm telling you, that was a very good game. I have to admit, had high hopes for the Nuggets.
Well, if you notice anything about it, in a sense, I chose OKC, I chose Indianapolis, I chose the Timberwolves.
You did.
So now guess what? The Timberwolves in the home court, in their own hometown, sent Denver home rocking and reeling.
But Mr. E, you got to think about it. Timberwolves, if we didn't hear that name being declared all the time throughout this whole season, I'm not surprised that they have come this far.
Well, you know, Miss Hinton, and not only that, Ant-Man said it. He told them from the Timberwolves, he said, Game 7, we're going to show you something. He said Game 7, and they mic'd him up while he was out there on the field, and he was hollering and screaming, do this, 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 and do this. So guess what? The Timberwolf, and that's all I could hear was, ow! So the Timberwolves knocked them out of the box, Denver out of the box. Now here's what gonna have to happen. Now here's the playoff. The playoff gonna be between the Dallas Mavericks and the Timberwolves and the Boston Celtics against the Pacers.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
But let me back up one time before we take off.
Okay.
Dallas Mavericks made it by the skin of their teeth.
Why you say that?
You know, there's some talk on the town about our boy, that referee by the name of Tony Brother.
Don't talk about our friend.
I gotta talk.
That's our friend.
Folks might not go down to Tony Brother restaurant anymore. But Tony Brothers, the referee Tony Brothers, has received fair share criticism over the years, and the fans was extra heated over his officiating in Game 6.
What happened?
Of the Mavericks and the Thunder second round clinch for the Dallas. Fans on both sides of the aisle were outraged over his call. He failed to overturn the late foul on Thunder's guard, Alexander, which allowed Dallas to win the game at the free throw line. We saw that. I saw that. However, to be fair to brothers, Alexander clearly made a contact with Maverick forward P.J. Washington, elbowed him before Washington shot the ball. Okay. So now, Tony Brothers, you can't make up for it now.
Yes, he can. He can make up by coming on FYI radio show. We're going to call him. You all want to hear from Tony because he's been one of our guests.
He's one of our greatest guests.
That's been on. And so we're going to have to hear from his point of view after all this is over, Mr. E.
After it's all over, because, you know, right now he's still officiating.
Absolutely.
And guess what he told us? He said that I can't talk about any of the games while I'm officiating.
Absolutely.
So I need your prediction, Miss Hinton. I need your prediction.
Lord.
And our audience can call in 757-624-9475. If you want to put your 2 cents in it on Sports Talk on today, if you want to talk about that call that Tony Brothers make, now is the time. Now, if you want to give your prediction of who's going to win between the Dallas Mavericks against the Mavericks and the Timberwolves.
Now, you know, Mr. E, I always have to do my research. You got to give me their seasons before I make any prediction. I want to know how the Mavericks and how the other folk have done throughout the season.
Well, they already made it all the way to the wire.
Okay, but I want to know the games lost and games won.
Now, what happened was with the Timberwolves, they won 56 games and lost only 26.
Ooh.
And 26 of the games, of the game they won of the away game, they lost 15 of the away games. Now let's look at the Dallas. Let's look at the Dallas Mavericks and see what they did on the road. They during the season they won 50 games and lost only 32.
Okay.
So that game that we're talking about, where brothers made that foul call, which kicked my boys OKC out of the box and won by a free throw.
That's amazing.
I said,
and they both. You said all the fans are mad. On both sides.
You know, because the game was so good, and Tony didn't redeem that call.
Okay.
You know, so
and they replayed it and everything.
Everything. He went to the replay booth and all that stuff, and came back out and told what the call was all about. And guess what? OKC home. They played such a wonderful game. I got to give it to the boys. They did a wonderful job.
Now, if anybody wants to call in, Miss Lee, what's the number?
The telephone number to dial is 757-624-9475. That's the telephone number. All you sportsters out there, I need your prediction, because now we're getting down to the wire. We're getting down to the final playoff, and in June, that's when it's going to be the END, the end of the ball game. Give us a call, 757-624-9475. I need someone to tell me who's going to win between these other 4 teams that is playing, Miss Hinton.
Well, Mr. E, I'm going to go with the Timberwolves only because of their season.
Okay.
A great season. And not only that, I've been hearing Timberwolves throughout the whole season. Seriously.
757-624-9475. Miss Hinton chose to go with the Timberwolves. So you thinking that the Mavericks, Kyrie and Kyrie gonna lose?
Kyrie, you know, then I got to think about my favorites, and Kyrie is one of my favorites.
So guess what gonna happen?
What?
Ant-Man said this last night. He said, I got to put on my extra pair of tennis shoes, because Tyree is a very professional ball player, and he knows all the tricks.
He just got that charisma. It's something about him. He's just like basketball, Mr. Basketball to me.
So you saying the Timberwolves?
Well, yeah, only because of the numbers, Mr. E.
Okay, so we're going to put the Timberwolves here.
Okay.
And then, Miss Hinton, here's what you got to look at also. The Indiana Pacers against the Boston Celtics.
See, now that's hard. I'm going to try, but that's hard. I may leave a question mark. And the Celtics, of course, you know, I'm going with the brand. The Celtics throughout the years, throughout history, have been, you know, a fabulous team. But then the Pacers, just like the Timberwolves, it's been ringing out. The name of the Pacers, that brand has been ringing out throughout the whole season, Misty. Now, break it down. Give me some of their numbers for the season.
Well, you know, the Pacers, they won 47 games during the season. They won 47 games and they lost 35.
Okay.
And then they playing against who? They playing against the
Celtics.
The Celtics. And Boston has been doing one of the greatest jobs that one could ever think about. Boston Celtics was not taking any hostages.
That's here.
But they played some good basketball. They played real good basketball.
Yes.
So the Boston Celtics, they won so many games, Miss Hinton, I mean, during their season, that it was kind of crazy. You know, when I look at the Boston Celtics, I said to the boss, when I looked at them Boston Celtics, I said, now y'all are playing some real basketball. That fellow by the name of Truman, whatever his name is, they won 64 games. The Celtics. They won 64 games, and they're number one in the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
So now
The other team.
the Pacers,
Mhm.
Miss Hinton, when the Indiana Pacers came, they won 47 games during the regular season, and and they lost 35.
Ah, so you know I have to go with the brand then.
So you going with the brand? You
I
going
got
with
to go with
so
Celtics.
you going with the Celtics?
Yes.
I'm going to do just the opposite, Miss Hinton.
Ooh,
I got to go against you. I got to
okay.
go with with the Pacers. You going with the Celtics
Yeah.
to win,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going with the Pacers.
Okay.
And if you got it, anybody got any questions or who they want to put, give us a call at 757-624-9475. One thing I can say, Miss Hinton, both of us got the Timberwolf.
Yeah. All right. You going with the
I'm
Timberwolves?
going with the Timberwolf.
Okay.
You going with the Timberwolf.
Absolutely.
So you ought to go with Kyrie. You ought to go with
I mean, you know, hey.
624-9475. That's the telephone number. If we're making the right choice, all right, you basketball genius out there, you sports
Yes.
buff out there, who is it gonna be? Okay, here's the final thing. So you saying the Timberwolves against the Celtics.
Yeah.
Now, the final straw. The Celtics gonna
All right now. You know I'm not going there. Let's see. I'm not going there right now.
the Celtics or the Timberwolves will
I'm
win
not
the whole
going there.
thing.
I'm not going there. I'll give you these other games, but I'm not going to that final game
That
yet.
final game, but it's been a great ball game.
Yes,
I mean, the
it has.
skill levels has been outstanding, and the boys have been playing, and they had to be playing good basketball in order for me to stay up almost all night long, watching basketball after basketball after basketball.
Let's see, what about the fans? They going pure crazy. I mean, it's just fire. They bring the fire. It's just the noise. I just love it. I'm going to get my experience there. I'm going to a professional basketball game. I'm going to do it.
No,
It's
that's
on the
right.
bucket list.
That's right. That's
And I
right.
have to experience that because I mean, fans on fire. That's what that is.
And I like to go to the games when it's in the playoff time. I mean, I don't want to go during the regular season.
Mhm.
I like to be in the midst of all the yelling and the screaming. It ain't got to be my team. I can run from one side to the other side, hollering for each team.
Well, Mr. E, we covered that, the NBA, the WNBA. We have to let folk know that the schedule for the NFL is popping.
That's right. That's right. And I was looking over the schedule for the NFL. When I looked over my team, the Dallas Cowboys, I said, what team that's on our schedule that we're not playing? Well, I come to the conclusion one of the teams that we're not playing is the Green Bay Packers.
Really? Why is that?
Where they are not on our schedule. They are not, and I could be wrong. I got to look at it again.
Maybe it's changed.
But when I looked at it, I didn't see the Green Bay Packers. That was the only team that I didn't see on our schedule. 624-9475. If you know something that I don't know, let us know. And for those who are Skin fans, or those Commanders fans, well, I heard this. This is the word on the street. This is the word. You ready for this? Well, the defensive coach for the Dallas Cowboys, now the head offensive coach for the Commanders. Okay. So now the left tackle and the right tackle came from the Dallas Cowboys.
They're going to be playing just like the Cowboys. Huh?
So now the Commanders' name has changed again.
What are you saying?
To them boys.
Okay. You all gonna get in there. I don't care what you do now. But look, you have high hopes for your team, the Cowboys.
That's right.
What you think they're gonna do this season?
Well, this is the year because Dak, he had some controversies with his contract. We brought back Ezekiel and we let Tony Pollard go. And we brought in some other folks, and we used some new folks that's with us. And Jerry Jones looked at the paperwork and said that we supposed to have had a Super Bowl team this year. So now last year. So now this year, win, lose, or draw, the Dallas Cowboys, you heard it, is going to the Super Bowl and they're going to win it.
Well, you heard it first here on FY Radio Morning Show Live. You see, has already put on his prediction, and the season hasn't even started.
That's right. The season hasn't started. So hey, look, get ready for the Cowboys.
Get ready, y'all. It's going to be great, but we're going to finish up the NBA, and you all going to stay locked while we do it. God bless you. Come over here just for a few minutes. We're going to talk to you about some upcoming shows. Have a wonderful day.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. If you'd like to be a special guest, a sponsor, or intern of the most talked about radio show, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 on WGPL, WMPA, WPCE, and Peace 95.3 FM, and on all social media platforms. Don't forget to join us on Monday night. That's right. We got FYI After Dark. Don't forget, if you'd like to be a special guest, inbox at Everette's Facebook page, it's Yolanda the Lady Hinton Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page, or email us at FYI Radio Show live@gmail.com, or give us a call 757-714-7861. And don't forget to have a wonderful Monday. Bye now.
Ooh, talking about sports. Oh, it's been fire in the NBA. I'm looking at the games like, whoa, this is something to behold. I really believe this that we've been getting into the games. There's something about this year that we've just latched hold to, the games we're playing and, who's been drafted and the women and the men and the college,
all around, yeah,
all the way around, because the games have been interesting and folks they doing it, they doing their thing.
That's right. We looking at a lot of new stuff that's been brought to the game. Like I say, the young boys are showing us how to play basketball, and because things are changing, some of the old heads that got wisdom, it didn't come through for them, because if the Joker and that's the second time. This is the second time they have been there in the playoffs. They should be experienced by now. And what they should have done is say, okay, fine, we know what it takes. But here, what they did, them boys jumped on them for the beginning.
Miss Sheila Robbins, how are you, dear? Good to see you as usual. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. And you all that are on, make sure you say something in the chat so we can shout you out.
That's right. That's right. We would love to shout you out to let everybody know that you are part of FYI.
All right. So we have some great shows coming up. We're going to continue Wednesday with what's under the hat issues concerning men.
Yeah.
And then our women's issues. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have a wonderful show for you there. We're going to be serving that tea as well. We got a lot of tea to serve. I think we kind of pile it up because we served a little. We're gonna definitely get in there and make sure we are serving it.
That's right. That's right. That is so true.
Mr. Eve's gonna continue. Look, we got to go and peek over the WNBA. Make sure we're keeping up with the numbers there, so we can bring you all what's happening with our ladies, honey, and with our newbies. The draft picks they're playing, and they say Angel is doing quite well.
Angel is showing out.
She's showing out, and doing her thing over there.
Since the first game that the WNBA played was on May the 19th, and the Seattle was playing against Washington.
Yes,
and the Seattle won against Washington 84-75. Drew Lowe scored 24 points, and Aaliyah scored 19 points. Yeah.
Yes, they're doing their thing over there. And like I said, the popularity, ticket sales, everything, fans, everything is up as a result of what has come out of the college games, NCAA games and all that. People are now locked and glued to what these ladies. They actually tickets are selling out, Miss Steve.
That's right. When you look at the ticket sales, let's look at Connecticut. And I believe this was a typo. They said Connecticut against Indianapolis at 7 o'clock p.m. tonight on ESPN. They said the tickets are being sold as low as $2.
I don't know about that. That's all like fake news.
But when you look at Seattle against New York, the tickets low is being sold as low as $20.
Let me tell you
Yeah.
what, maybe we'll get a chance to go to a WNBA. I'm ready. Look,
That's
either
right.
or. NBA, WNBA, hey, I'm ready to go. And definitely the NFL.
That's right. Got to get out there because hey, guess what? I want to see what them good old boys is doing. I want to be able to look at all of the teams and bring you nothing but the very best. Them who's sitting around here with a team, I want to make sure that we bring you the best with your team, whether they win, lose, or get kicked out of the block.
Well, Misty, I want to rewind to some tea you stirred and served up today by our friend, Mr. Brothers.
Uh-huh.
I just want to put it in the atmosphere, Mr. Brothers. You're listening. You got to come on. We got to clean this mess up. I don't want nobody messing with our friend, our special guest, Mr. Brothers. But we want to find out what went on at this game
You know,
here.
and when I look at it, they said this would hit. Tony Brothers is an American professional
Yes.
basketball referee who works in the National Basketball Association. He has been a referee in the NBA since 1994 and
Wow.
95 95. Now 29 years later, brother has officiated over 1,700 regular season games and 186 playoff games and 16 NBA finals. The fans are really upset. The fans are really upset at Mr. Brothers because he did not clear the air.
Hmm.
Alexander blocked the attempt month before it was negative with the Washington maintenance possessed during the sequence. After brother explained the call, stating he had the ball been dislodged when shot hit it, the contact afterward would have been demure margin, which did not happen here.
Mhm.
So that was a bad call that
Ooh.
brother called because they bumped into him afterwards. And
Interesting.
in other words, the word on the street it says brothers cheated for
All
the
right,
Dallas
then.
Mavericks.
Allegedly.
That's what
But
they
look, while
saying.
we shout out Mr. Brothers to come on, FYI, we got a shout out on our women's segment this Friday. Uh, this name of our segment is I Can't Stand My Mother-in-Law. Mr. E, because Mr. E has already put in the atmosphere that he wanted some secret
Yeah.
issue with women, going a little deep. And so if you're out there, you can't stand your mother-in-law, you want to be on. This is for the ladies. This is the ladies segment.
Yeah.
Let us know. We would love to have you on. In the
Wow.
meantime, that's the name of our Friday segment. I can't stand my mother-in-law. We want you to tune in. Look, don't forget, make it all right. Don't forget, wherever music is sold, get that single. It is fire. Yeah, I got some wonderful numbers through radio promotion.
Congratulations.
I'm so excited. And some of the other countries that it's being played, the stations that it's being played on, they've done a great job pushing and promoting the music throughout radio. I'm really pleased. And so thank you all for buying the music and just bringing voice the numbers to me and sales. So keep up the good work. Anybody needs to have that music. Make sure you let them know this. Everywhere music is sold, you can buy it. Yolanda, make it all right.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget www.bulvicacademy.com. BULVIC Academy.com. You're going to get the Bulvic game app. You can buy it there, or either your Google Store, Play Store, or your Apple Store for your iPads and iPhones. You can get Bullet right there on the website if you want to. You can get information about our anti-bullying movement initiative in our blogs. You can also get the books. Bullying is right underneath your nose, and the diary, the newest book, The Former Bully. Get that right there, or wherever books are sold,
Yeah.
you can get those books as well. Make sure you all support. Make sure you support our initiative. We're doing some things in October, doing that month, anti-bullying month. But we're going to do a little switch, and we're going to be changing our location and things like that. And so, you all, please, you all to be a part of it and participate.
Don't forget anti-bullying. If you got some problem with bullies and you want to be a special guest on the Talk About Radio show, give us a call.
Absolutely.
Give us a call and let us know that how to help our community to rise above, because this is not just child play. It's a germ. It's a germ that needs to be stamped out.
Absolutely, and we have something for that too. We have a course that's coming real soon. It's already ready, and it's for you all that need a remedy for this thing called bullying. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. But you continue to watch us. Tonight we will have a recap of some of our former shows. We're just going to put those on and make sure you all have heard those before we begin our new series, special guest for the After Dark show. But we are very excited what we're doing, what you all are doing, and how you all are joining us and committed to being a part of what we do.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So we thank you. Let me see. Mr. E's going to tell you how you can be a special guest sponsor or intern with FYI Radio Show.
If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor of the Most Talked About Radio show or intern, give us a call at 757-714-7861 or inbox us at FYI Radio Show. Email us at FYI Radio Show live@gmail.com or inbox us on Facebook at Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page. Let us know what we can do to help you to serve the community more, because we want to help you to help our community to rise above. We want to help you to take your community back. And that's what FYI is all about, for your information, letting folks be aware that this is going on in your community. So give us a call at 757-714-7861 and say, I got this going on. And don't forget, the elections are right around the corner. So pay close attention to the ballots and see if your man, if your pick is what you want to do.
Absolutely. And look, ladies, for our Friday show, if you have any tea you want to serve, or if there are any subjects, Mr. E said, let's go a little deep. And if you have anything that we can do to make those subjects and topics deeper, please inbox us, or, go to FYI Radio Show Live at gmail.com and give us a little bit of that tea.
That's right.
Those suggestions. Look, God bless you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Expect some warmer weather after today. We've been blessed to have some mild and some weather, some rain. It's going to get warm. And Hampton Roads here, the humidity is ferocious. So, look, be blessed. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you later. God bless you.
2 up, 2 down, VA.